All right. So, last time I attempted to do a demonstration or at least just an idea of starting to work on kind of base building concepts and things. But unfortunately, I was thwarted by the fact that the visuals were bugging out to such an extent that it just seemed pointless because we're going to be like looking at them for a while. But I can still come up with the concepts and test them uh, lightly inside the engine. So um, I can, I don't know, try a different approach. But at the very least, I'm gonna figure it out because I still need to do the actual work to uh, yeah, see what's what basically. So for that, to actually represent what I was going to do yesterday, not yesterday, the previous time anyway, we're gonna be using Magic Voxel. Let's just keep this short. Yeah, can you dun, doing this right? So um, let's make a example. So we have orange and blue. By oh, hang on. I, right, whatever. There's face move. Oh, oh, I didn't know you could do it against that. Oh, that's really useful. Okay, hang on. All right, so here we are. Here's the general issue. Let's say so. Um, we want to make a snap based base building system, right? So let's use green. So if we wanted to attach a wall to this, so we want like a player. So I don't know, any old. Let's just do white, right? Uh, or grey or something. I don't know. Attach. I'm just not doing the right thing at all here. So okay, it's hmm. Okay, right. So we got a player here, and we want the player to put a wall relative to this floor. So the things that we understand about this scene is the player is standing on something, and this something is a object that we can get a reference to and figure things out about, right? So we can get data based on the floor. Now, the obvious way that all of these systems work is you make a standard size for everything. So you make it so that all the floors, the windows, the doors, and everything conform to this exact square. In our case, it's 10 by 10 by 10. It might be in the Unreal Engine like 50 by 50 or even like 300, whatever. So the plan is to then make it so you have a definition of a floor, a ceiling, a wall, window and wall, door and wall, etc. That all conform to the same dimensions. And then you can pretty much guarantee that if we manage to detect these points here, we can then lock the mesh to those coordinates, which I'm sure would be fairly straightforward in terms of the maths to find the center point and place it relative to this. Um, but then we run into an interesting issue which I'm not sure how to solve yet, but oh, hang on, I could just do that. So okay, so now let's say we found the relative location, so we know that this wall sits on top of this floor. Problem is, the wall's got you know, if we wanted to add another wall, we've got this column here, this column here. So if I then just do that with, say, that color, it's which wall has the pillar. And so the alternate approach, I suspect, is going to be something along the lines of, so if I do this, I'm not sure, but I suspect it will handle it. Oh, fascinating. Okay, so let's say for the sake of argument, oh, goodness me, I need to lower the sensitivity of my mouse, I think. It's jumping all over the place. Right, so if we now have something like this, I should probably have used the mirror option as well. Right, so we've got this. Now we can add walls in the gaps. And again, the math should be the same, right? You detect, you know, the points here and here, or obviously the ones underneath there, right? So you detect that, and then you find the center, rotate it to face relative to this, and then attach the wall basically. So then you end up with that. And now what you could do, so by default, this blue would encompass all of this, but you could make it so walls have their own separate pillars that are part of their mesh. And so when I add, I don't know, this could be like a one with a window, right? So what is arrays? Oh, it's R for some reason. Okay. B. So if this was like a windowed wall, so what we would end up with is pillar here and potentially something like this. Right. So now we have this. But I think it would make more sense to have separate columns that combine walls, and the walls are generated without the columns entirely. So when you place a wall, it places the relevant columns if it doesn't find one. Otherwise, it places just the bit that's missing. So that's a potential solution here. And then you have kind of the same issue with the ceiling, of course. So if I attach, well, let's go for a purple ceiling, you have the same problem across here. So then you need a different thing. It's going to be hard to find distinct colors soon, I'm sure. A red, let's go for. So then, then you end up with this. Right, so now we need pillars. But you see, now you have these corner points. So what happens if you place something like this? Because now you need just the top corner relative to this, unless the floor. Oh, actually, it would probably make sense. I assume. Nope. There we go. It would actually make more sense for the ceiling to to be shifted up on top. There we go. And if I... Isn't there a... I thought you could extend what's beneath above. I can't remember. Um, I mean the easiest option. Hang on, let me just sort this out. So if we go here, no, if we go here, do copy paste. At one point in my life, I knew all of the shortcuts. It's a rare thing these days. Right, and then we do voxel attach, get that. I would just paint it right. And then paint G, right, yeah. Okay, so now we have this, which would be replicated down below as well. So if I go on here, so now we have floor and ceiling tiles, and these are gonna have, so if I feel that color's not distinct enough from there, so let's go for a green. There we go, right. Oh, paint. Okay, right. So now we have wall pillars that get dynamically added as needed, and then we have ceiling parts. So okay, do we actually need the ceiling parts separate anymore? Because I don't think we do. In fact, yeah, I'm almost certain. That's annoying. Right. Okay, so that simplifies things a bit. So okay, if I now fill paint this green, okay, so now we've got floor, a ceiling. So the player places another ceiling next to this, it just goes straight on. If you put another wall next to this, so let's make this a lot bigger, so 30, 30, and let's take the whole thing, shift it, I don't know, over here. Actually, no, let's leave it in the center. Okay, so if the player were to, let's say we take this, no, close, but no cigar. Oh, 2D. Well, that's rather irritating. There we go. Okay, so if I do copy paste and then we rotate, nope, Z again, and then we shift this up here. Okay, so now the player places a wall here. So that gets created and it's attached to this, has that pillar. And then if we take this, copy, paste, shift it across here. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's how we're going to do it. And then if there was a door in the wall here, we just go raise and we just take out whatever the door shape is there, something like that, right? Okay, and so yeah, that's what we need to achieve. We have placeable, attachable building sections now. I've got to make sure they're a bit more centralized. So let's figure out. I think I need to. What do I need to do here? Rather than box select. So we want to move this. Oh, there we go. That's I thought it was the camera that was fucking with me. So if I move this across one, let's make this a lot larger. What the hell just happened? Come on. I'm trying to. What? I don't get why it wouldn't let me go to the bottom. Okay, that's weird. I'm just trying to get a flat representation of this. Hang on, let's see if this is building test real quick. Right. This really messes with me sometimes, right? Oh, right, yeah. Okay, so now the floors are going to be like that. Right, so there's that. Um, okay, there's the roof extended. And yeah, it needs to do the same along here, so So I'm just thinking you want to share walls. So the obvious solution, how many long is this? Does it tell me somewhere? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it is an odd number already. Did I already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. Why? Okay, right, whatever. So that's 9, so we need to make this square. So attach face, select that. B, no, face, attaches T, right. Okay, so I mean it's gonna be easier for me to recreate most of this anyway, so hang on, let's just do that and then box tool 11 by 11. Okay, so let's think about this differently. So we're going to end up with a base like this, but I think actually that's a clever idea. So if I get rid of that, let's say that anything that's grey is the outer edges of something. So I do that and then paint and then do that. So that's going to be a floor. And it will generate this around it. And then if we have a wall, no, attach, thank you. Right, let me do face mode. So 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hang on, it would be 9 plus 2. So that's the bottom. And then if we select the box select this, copy paste, shift it up. Okay, so this should be one. Let me that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it should be there. Right, thank you. Okay. Right, so the idea here is now if we add another floor, so if we do this, we do that, and let me shift that over to that, move, copy paste. That happens. And then we have face mode, we select, attach. Yeah, that makes sense. We have an odd number, and then when this isn't attached and doesn't have a wall, it doesn't matter. So if I do this and we select this, attach, select paint. Right. Good grief. Okay, so that's looking good. So we can add things, remove things, and it shouldn't matter. So yeah, what we need is this framework blocks around the edge. So we could make it so every static mesh has a relative column. And then it's a case of like, who gets priority, right? But I think it should still be split where, so if we painted these ones green. Okay, that's gonna make more sense. Yeah, okay. So we get columns with walls and then uh, whatever tiles on the bottom for the floors. Yeah. So this wouldn't exist in this case. Are we happy with that? It's hard to think about this kind of stuff when you actually have to do it, you know. That looks reasonable. I'm just gonna change that to there we go. Less garish. And probably those to like skipping over millions of colors. Why? There's just not that many on here. There we go, right. It's a bit bright. Whatever, that would do. Yeah, there we go. duller colours is a bit easier on my eyes. So yeah, in theory, we do box. So I keep doing this. It's not that at all. Box select, copy paste. Should, access. So this is what we're going to end up with. I think that's pretty typical. I could maybe get those and put them on the tops of here, but it's like occupying another building slot, so whatever. But I think this will be fine. I feel like we're making a children's soft play area or something right now. Whatever, weird color palettes. Okay, so in order to do this, I'm thinking we probably need something, quite a few different systems interacting with each other. But for now, the most obvious thing that I need to implement is a means of detecting this stuff. So let's keep it really basic, and we're going to go first person buildings, this building parts folder. What we actually want is a class for it. Can I make a new folder from here, I wonder? Unlikely. Interesting. Why couldn't I? I don't. How do I just make a new C++ class without having one selected? That's weird. It's just here, isn't it? Okay. Right, so we got a decision to make. I think it's obviously actor for now, but something else might come of this. I'm thinking of a hierarchy of like all these building components and stuff. It might be like a instance static mesh situation. So I'll have to investigate structurally in the Armorer engine how to make this a thing. But I mean, at the bare minimum, we need like a central point to, you or we at least need each of these as a separately interactable object at some point. And they need to exist in the world. So for now, they're going to be actors, but I suspect later on it would be plausible to have a single actor that represents an entire building, and then we just use maths to determine the objects that we're standing on and things. And the static mesh would be like auto-generated based on the instance static meshes that make up the building, or something like that. I'm imagining there's going to be a significantly more computational approach to generating this, but separate actors you can't really go wrong with at the moment. Now, it might be scene component, for instance, is another possibility, but yeah. So this is going to be building part. Yeah, so can I, so if I make a new thing and call it, what's this gonna, I'm just gonna do that because it's bloody obvious. We'll see what happens. I need another cup of tea. I'll be back imminently. Hopefully this still works. Right, back we are. Let's see. Is it going to... No idea what it's doing at the moment. We cool? Oh, right, yeah, obviously. Yeah, so it's enforcing this kind of new system for includes, and I haven't updated my project yet. So that's gonna bite me in the ass pretty quickly. But whatever, right. So, things we probably don't need, tick and primary to tick false. You can go. Don't know why it doesn't combine them together. There's some weird thing going on there, and yeah. Don't know why it was. All right, whatever. Yeah, we know. We know. Right. Problem solved. Okay, so oh goodness me. So we need a static mesh attached to this thing. So now I've got to remember how the hell to do all that kind of stuff. I think I have a working example in loot boxes, bar items. Yeah. Here we go. Right. Cool. So I'll probably copy this. Here. There it is. Those, please. So the advantage of your having your own systems and things set up. So this is going to be building that comp now. We can rename things later. That'll do for now. I mean, it will just make something appear on the screen. Don't need this, that's for something else, but that might come a bit later. All that. Right, so we're keeping everything basic. We got a duplicate of that for some reason. So does this do... Yeah, so this is... Oh, so this is setting a default mesh, and this is where it actually loads the mesh. Okay. So I could probably replicate this in here, and then this is going to be, I don't know, let's just make it an F string for now. Mesh ref. Okay, there we go. Isn't there an is empty? And then we just populate that with something later, but it will default to empty anyway. No. I mean, there's probably going to be a struct or something. Now I'll probably make, how do I do structs again? I think it's just, is it U8 or something? I've got it somewhere. I got loads of them all over the place, but it's always annoying to try and remember where the hell I've actually put these things. Here we go. That's enough. Okay, so it's just this kind of stuff. So I mean, you know, come in here and we would probably have, I don't know, building part. And this, oh, actually, let's keep one of them because it's useful. And this is going to be like, so we would have F vector location, building part data, in fact. So it'd have like a location, whoops, don't know why I'm doing that. Rotator. Oh. Wow, it's having a hard time. What? Okay, it seems to be having a difficult time with things, so I'm just gonna, that. I think there's like a scan current rescan file. Rescan. No, okay. I don't know why this isn't updating itself effectively. Anyway, so we've got like a location for where the building part goes. So this is the kind of information we're going to store in the database eventually. So it'll be, you know, its type, probably its ID, I guess. So it'd be like an info ID. We would probably have an F string of mesh ref, something to that effect. That'll probably do for now. I'm just gonna rebuild this because it's really not liking that. So my general plan here is we're not actually gonna start using this yet because that would be insane. I'd have to do a hell of a lot more effort than what I'm planning to do at the moment before I actually implement it where it generates the building parts from data. That's a whole data table update and code and stuff. I'm still unsure why. Segregation has no storage class. It's really having difficulty with this. There it goes. Huh. Okay, I don't know. I think it's just having some issues. I think it's resharper things. Anyway, whatever, right, I will isn't this supposed to be same? Okay, so yeah, we got static mesh component, cool. I think I had an on construct thing somewhere. Oh, I'm just not doing anything with it. But it is useful. We want to override the construction somewhere. One of these, one of those. Pop this in here. Great definition. Thank you very much. No, I wasn't. Alright, whatever. Something to that effect. Yes, this will be useful later for updating information and stuff dynamically because I can change some stats, move it around and force it to like reload the object or something, you know. So I could, for instance, move that into there. And for consistency, we're just going to put this in here. Data. Let's just call it building data. Still not sure my property naming conventions and stuff. On projects at work, it's often this kind of approach. I'm just so used to this. I think it's a Java-y thing, perhaps, but I don't know. If I'm as long you can obviously run it through like I'm sure ReSharper can enforce property naming conventions and things for me anyway, so it's whatever. It will be a find and replace job at worst case. But it's what I'm doing at the moment. Right, so we got all this. So in theory, I fire it up, put this to the side. You get a nice little slide going here, little climbing wall. Anyway. Ugh, my nose. My nose is completely bunged up again. Ugh. Alright, it'd be doing the thing. So we should be able to just drag this into the level as is, and it will have a loot box crate mesh somewhere vaguely next to it. So this will attach it to it, and that will set the mesh. So yeah. Later on, I'm going to need to do something with this because it might not always exist in these locations. And if I rename my project, I'm going to have to globally go and change that. So I'm going to make it a variable somewhere. Just call it project name. I'm sure I can do something for that. Oh, that's not what I'm doing. Right, so in theory, this is what I really like about this. If I go in here, oh look, it's already got the mesh. Like it knows, you know? Ta-da! Right, so now we have this thing called a building component. I also need to change my project settings back because I changed it to forward rendering to test something. And it evidently didn't work. Okay, hang on. Like, find it myself somewhere. Right. Forward shading, it's called. Right. That's that's mobile. Is that what it was? That was that. Okay, that'll put it back to what it would otherwise be. See, this is interesting. This is also glitching. Like, is it? Oh no, it's not. There's something. So I still got this bloody wall issue. This is. What I was doing in Magic of Voxel here. I was going to try and represent in here, but then we have this issue, which kind of makes it impossible to do that action. Um, you know, it's kind of hard to visualize things if it's literally not working. So, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we've got this thing called a building part, right? So now what we need to do, firstly we'll close this. So in the player controller, I'm gonna need a button for it at some point. So I'll just make one called build. I think there's a better input action system now, so I'll create another blank project and see what it does differently. We want a released. Oh, actually, we don't need a released, it's a toggle. So if we just call it build, it's so cool that it knows that there isn't an input action called build. Like this has scanned the Unreal Engine's output of the input system and has realized that this doesn't link to anything. I mean, that's just so awesome. Anyway, so if we go here, it doesn't really matter where we do it. Moment, let me just say build. Right, so generate that. We can do that in the engine in a bit. So what we want is to detect overlapping building parts and then start doing some fancy calculations to determine which building part we're looking at closer to. Which is going to be interesting. because we've already got overlapping objects thing, so I should be able to utilize that somewhere. How do I do it again? I'm doing nothing of the sort. How am I doing that? Interesting. Somewhere I get the nearby containers and things. Oh, I'm being an idiot as per usual. It's actually inside the player. Ah, one of those mornings, right? Go in here. Right. Okay. This is where the fun begins. So the curious. So if I go into the build, wherever that's gone, down here somewhere. If I do get base character dot get. Oh, okay. Right. And if I find usages. So I should have done something similar somewhere else. Okay, maybe not. There we go. All right. Okay, so it figures out that it's all right. Yep. Okay, so if I do this, and then I have actors, it's gonna be a. Oh, come on. Something to that effect. Yeah, but you know what it is. Huh. That's weird. It should know. No, no, no. Weird. The IntelliSense normally pretty good for that. But okay, whatever. All right. Actor to actors. Um, building parts. BP equals cast. building parts. Cool, right. So we've got all of this. So we can get the nearby building parts, no problem at all. I think. We'll see, we'll see. So I put a breakpoint on here, we run this, we add the build to the inputs. It's B, obviously, for now. And eventually it will be when you equip a hammer or something, and then you press the attack button and it, or ADS or something. We'll figure out the specifics later. It's doing something. There we go. Oh, goodness me. I'm pretty sure I made the C function. Yeah, cool. It would have complained otherwise. Right, so this is either gonna work if my character's overlapping with it or the interaction radius. So I'll figure that one out very shortly. I think it's project settings, inputs somewhere. Yeah, I need to look into enhanced input, but for now this is pretty chill. Can't go wrong really. Build B. Keyboard B. There you go, right. So that should return nothing. Or not much, empty, cool. And if I go near this and hit B. Okay, so yeah, it's using the radius. I'm not, obviously my character mesh isn't colliding with it. So we have actors, building part. Great. Okay, that's all I needed to prove. Actors, building part. Good. Right. So we know that works. Now the fun begins. Okay, so realistically, we could do something like Okay, let's do something easy. So if I do what we want is to spawn a new building part in the world, relative offset to us. So let's keep it easy. We want to go where we're looking and like a fixed direct distance away from it. How do I do this in other places? So we want, it's an F vector location equals bp dot get actor location oh hang on, it's get base character dot get actor rotation dot rotate vector. So that's going to rotate the vector of this, and then we do location times equals 10, and then we do get base character dot get world dot spawn actor a building part static class location bp dot get actor rotation. Right. In theory, this will spawn a new one of these based on the direction I'm facing every time I press B. And it will do it for all of the building parts. So, if I come up to here, so we're going to look this way, and we're going to press B. Okay. Oh, have I made it appear really, really, really fucking far away? Hang on. So I've done times 10. Yeah, okay. Or, oh, have I actually done it too close? Hang on. Wait, I'm doing too much at once here. Okay, I didn't mean to stop it. Okay. Times 100. Right. Because it's not throwing errors, and it's definitely hit this code before, so... I mean, I'll put a breakpoint on it. Damn it, I didn't mean to recompile the entire fucking engine from scratch again. I need to, like... Dunno, hide the exit button in the editor or something, because I keep forgetting that hot compile is a thing. And admittedly, we've been adding new classes which hot compile doesn't work for, but... So if I go up here and I look that way, okay, so it's hitting the code. I don't see anything. Okay, I'm unsure. Let's try something. So if I go here, let's just see. It finds one. Still finds one. Okay, and let's try the spawn parameters. So it's f actor spawn parameters. Okay, there's no, why is there no constructor? Params dot always spawn. Right, let's try that. So if I come here, because it might be successfully doing the code, but then unsuccessfully creating the actor because it's like colliding with something. We just wanted to work regardless for now, because eventually it would just use a grid system. I haven't changed it. What are you talking about? Okay. Unsure then. Because when I'm doing target leading, that's how I move the vector. Lead. Distance. It's plus. Oh yeah, that's the velocity. So velocity is a vector that's been rotated relative to the direction. And when you times it, it just times as each of the things again. So, uh, okay, let's do 1.2. Keep it really small. See if it's just appearing like halfway across the universe. One 1.2 should move it 20% further. Nope. They're not overlapping each other, are they? If I eject, let's go to the outliner. Oh, it's creating them. Where are they going? Ah, I don't know why I didn't do this to start with. That's interesting. Why is it ended up over here? Oh wow, we created like a little ring. Oh wait, so if I go back, there should be the one that's come up over here. Oh yeah, there you go. Hey, hey. All right, so it's working. All right, it's just putting them like absolutely miles away. Hmm. So what do we need next? Well, we need to move them in accordance to a sort of a grid pattern, which I could do dynamically. I could just have an arbitrary grid relative to the starting object. So I could go from here. So for instance, I could still do the direction thing, but the distance it travels could be it's like plus equals building part dot actor bounds what's it gonna be building part somewhere here. For now we're just gonna make this public. Save that. Part comp dot. I mean, it would be bounds, but it's intriguing. So I could. Um, so what does this have? I've not actually done this before. Component max wise of 2 vectors. Create a copy of this vector with the maximum 2D magnitude clamped to the max size. So the component, does it like get safe normal? A normalized copy of the vector checking its safe. Okay. Let's try that. I will look this up imminently if because I've done this before for something else, but I think it's only the capsule size components that I've done it with before. For not getting too close to players in melee or something. Melee. Okay, alright, let's see what happens. And if we eject, so we're creating them. That ain't it. I mean, it's spawning them. They're all appearing right over there. Hmm. Okay, well, rather than trying to do anything particularly fancy at the moment, because we're gonna have like a known thing anyway, we'll just omit this and do f vector. Huh. Because it'd be times of velocity or something. I mean, so like, let's think about this. Realistically, what I need to do, so, like paint's probably, I need to figure this out myself a second, right? So here we go. So we got like this person, uh, whatever here, and we got a box here. Let's go. I need to color coordinate things. Um, Actually, this might be better in Excel. Right. So if I make these all 50 by 50. Okay, so the player is going to be standing here. We're going to have a box here. So what we need is we need to figure out the relative direction the player is looking to this. Project a line going from it, and essentially we want to decide which of these positions we're closer to. This is future thinking, but so if the player is looking, so let's now use snipping tool to get this, because then I can do it in paint better. So we get this, copy this, delete, paste, right. So if we now come into here, so if the player is looking this way, right? So we need to determine what they're looking at closer to. And I suspect what the best approach is you check this is blue. You check the center points of things next to the cube here, and you perform a distance check between here and here. Hmm. Or is it? That's tricky. How do you determine where along the line to do the check from? If we're looking... So we can... So we could do a ray cast, right? Grief, limited colors here. People let's do this. So we're gonna do like a ray cast like this, right? And we're gonna determine that this is a thing inside of this zone that we can see. So if there was another one, I don't know if Phil's going to be particularly effective in this environment. Is that Phil now? Okay, cool, not bad. So if you know, I know we got several things around here. So we'd find the closest one that you're looking at. And we've determined it's this, because it's certainly not that. So we only care about the ones within this raycast tool. So let's say pink's ones that we've seen ever, right? So we can see that one and we can see that one. So red is the closest one to this line. Oh, okay, so the way we do this is we figure out the rotation, so the angle from our relative to where we're looking. Right, so this is at a shallower angle than this, and consequently this. And then you could do, I don't know, a distance check or something. So then we can do that, right? God, there's not enough colors in the world here. And then we could do a distance check between these two. Right, because their angle's close or something. Right, and then we've determined that that's the one we want. So now where do we get the player to place it? So we could do the same kind of thing. So we can check the angle, the look-at angle between this grid and that grid. And then distance. Oh, and then distance relative to this, which should be... actually, that's going to be the same because it's a grid. So we know this distance because we've made that distance. Oof. Fun to think about. Right, let me put this because it's going to be productive later, I'm sure. It's interesting. Saved. This will be like building building calculations. There we go. Okay, so we can determine what you're looking at fairly easily. I guess it would just be the thing that's it's got to be the angle again, right? But let's generate this. So what we want is a grid. We want to be able to generate a grid around um, the actor relative to its location. So we want a sort of northeast, south, and west type gimmick. Um, right. So we want to figure out. We want like a move vector um, relative to actor, and there's like north, northeast, east, etc. And then we just pass in the benum and job done. So let's just do a simple get a enumeration thing here. Let's just throw it into the base controller for now. We'll put this in something else. This is going to be E direction, and this might already exist for all I know, but I'm going to make it myself because I can. North, east, west, south, whatever, right. And exposes there's an oh, okay. Um huh. Okay, I'll just call it my direction then. Call it one direction. There you go. Right, moving swiftly on. So we want a method in here which is going to probably be void a base character. This is going to be uh, move vector by direction vector. Oh. Um, well, I can think of a better way to do this as well. You just use the rotation, rotate it, move it. Yeah, okay. So this is start location, or hang on, that's not start, let's call it center. We're going to be specific here. Um, spellings. Right. Oh, it's rotator. F rotator. I don't know. Hang on. Honestly. Oh, actually, no. We want it to be more generic, don't we? Less dependent. Right. Come on. Right. I think it's center like that. Perhaps. Who knows? Um. Uh. Current rotation, and then it's going to be float distance, and then F one direction. What did I call it in the end? Oh, it's E one direction because it's not a struct. Right. And can you make that for me, please, good sir? Thank you very much. Right. Hmm. Okay. And this should... Ta-da! Right. So north is going to very simply... Oh, this needs to... Hang on. I'll just do that. And here. Blah. Where's it ended up? Not there. Not there. Oh, I've probably gone past it, haven't I? Huh? Should be bloody obvious. How have you ended up? Oh. Out is... Is this just taking a while, right? Is it because I didn't save it? So in this case, out's going to equal center location dot because north is going to be relative to it, and we're assuming... Is that right? 0 is north. South is going to be minus north. Oh. Yeah, yeah. Okay, hang on. I know. Right, I'm gonna rebuild you because you seem to be having immense difficulty figuring this out. Oh, hang on. Right. We get used to doing this. God damn it. Okay, sure. Alright, fine. I no no return statement in function. Like what? Oh, I spelled I'm fucking stupid, right? Sorry about that. Okay, fine. Out equals that dot rotate vector out. Out times equals distance. Or is it plus equals? Oh, hang on. It's... Oh, is it get... uh, no, it is. It's plus equals distance. Um, what is it? Oh no, it's got to be times equals. Yeah, yeah, I know. So east is going to be to the right. So we always want to do this, I think. Hmm. I'm pretty sure times equals is the way to go. Because because that's exactly what we're doing in here, right? We adding a velocity that we've times by the time. So this is their velocity will be a really small value times the time, and then we're just adding vectors together. So it moves it in a direction, and we're rotating the vector by, this will be their look at direction. So that this will be basically location equals that's distance like 3 north. Oh, but this time it's going to be that. So we're not doing it based on the player at all. And that's just because it's got to be at least 2. No, I don't think that's going to do it either. I'm really struggling with this. Why is that? Because x and y is going to be relative to its rotation for now, until we actually make a proper fixed grid going in like plus and minus 50. If you're going north, you go plus y 50 or minus y 50 for south, and the same for x for east and west, and that's trivial. But this is like relative to a fixed point. Okay, I mean, I know it works. I'm just got to get the maths right. Because like south is going to be minus distance because it's the opposite. And then out in these cases, it's going to be rotate the vector again. But we want a F rotator 90 is going to equal F. So it's 0, and it's the yaw we want. It's going to equal current rotation dot yaw plus 90, I think. Night. Oh, it's 9. Okay, and then huh, and I think this is going to be minus distance. Hang on. Oh, this is going to be const. Yeah, let's put that at the top. So that's going to do that. So these two. So we rotate it to face. We rotate the direction to face whatever. Then north, we just go straight ahead. South, we go negative straight ahead. East, we rotate it by 90 degrees on the yaw. So, that, not pitch or roll. And then west, we do the negative of that. And then basically here, we need to work out the direction to put it. But let's see what happens. But this is a good start, because even if the maths in here is wrong, I think logically this is the sort of system I need to make this kind of thing work smoothly. You pass in a location, you pass in the rotation of a thing, and then you just move stuff and project a grid. So, for instance, I could, prior to this, project all of the grid locations. So I figure it all out once when the player presses B, and then you look at them and it doesn't redo the calculations basically. So it will like store these locations in an array and then create temporary objects in each of those locations that represent a building component, and so on and so on. Right. But yeah. Alright. Wish me luck. Oh, hang on. Just let it sort its shit out first. Why has it ended up? Goodness me. Okay, has it done anything close to what I expected? No. So apparently that's north. Interesting. So let's do something different. Um, let's make, so if I do void, I'm gonna stop it this time actually. I know I can hot compile, I'm gonna be doing a lot. Um, create ruling part. Okay, so we want like this and direction, and then we in there we pass in direction. Let's do this like 1.1 for sure because it was way out of bounds. And then we generate this, and then we do this BP E north, right, and then we're gonna do south east west. Let's see what happens. Even if they're like miles away or something, I just want to prove that when I press the button, it does each of those, and they end up even close to approximately where I think they're going to. Because I only have to get this maths right once. That's the thing. If I get it going east correctly, then I know that the west correct is going to be right, and so on and so forth. And then figuring out these directions, that's the part where this comes in. So that's going to figure out the relative closest direction the player's looking at. All right, wish me luck. Oh, I probably ought to make it so they spawn on top or something. um, huh, right. That's not bad. They spawned perfectly equidistant from each other from clearly a central point over here or something. They're still miles away, but I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, they are perfectly equidistant from each other relative to a position. Now obviously my multiplier is sending them fucking miles away, and I'm curious as to the nature of the direction. Can I add? It's like an arrow component or something. What is it? If I go to my player, blueprints. So we go here because I think you can just add it and it just does it. It's just an arrow component. So if I open arrow component.h, okay. So we get this. Go building part, and I guess we do this arrow. Uh, and I think it's something as simple as equals a, is it U arrow? And we just do this, and we change this to be building part mesh. Also, actually in the player controller, we should be able to, based on the direction, give this a name, potentially. So if I do new BP equals p dot set name, no? Intriguing. Right. Well, so hang on, if I just do, and let's just commandeer this real quick. I'm gonna be really fucking lazy with this, okay? F string name, and we simply do, no, that's not what I'm doing. North. Stop doing that, please. I don't care. Right. Don't know what this is going to do, but it's going to identify north, east, south, and west a bit more casually for me. That will do for now. I'll just do a get direction string or something later. So there's 1.1. Let's make it 0.02 or something for now. And then the building part, we want to get this. This is going to be building arrow. And I think you just do that. And I think just having an arrow component does the trick. Oh, why have you... Oh. That's weird. It's normally clever enough to not do that, so we'll see. Hopefully that works. It would just be nice to see, because I think it defaults to its velocity or something. Well, it's rotation, obviously. I don't know why yeah. I probably don't need these anymore. All this. God, it'd be nice to be able to breathe through my nose more than once a day. Goodness me. Oh, I don't know. At this point, I don't know whether it's pollen, which is unlikely given the torrential downpour, or I've just been abusing nasal sprays again, which is more than likely. Oh wow, pardon me. Oh. Oh yeah, I need to change this setting on Discord later. I'll do that. So many things to do. Unfortunately, I've had a couple of episodes of Existential Crisis back to back for the last couple of weeks, which has been positive in the sense that I'm not going to, no longer considering, let's put it delicately, not being here anymore. Oh, huh, right. So if that's your north, no, go away. That's not what I'm trying to do. Alright. Uh, what am I trying to do? Is there not an option? I guess it's here. How do you find it? Oh, right, yeah, because it's a, yeah, C++ thing, not a, yeah, okay, right. Hang on, let me just look this up real quick. Um, oh, okay, I'm just missing a few bits. Uh, uh, yeah, fair enough. Right. So if we do that, we rebuild. So I'm not sure why I can't move this anymore. Whatever. Right, it's there now, I guess. So has that done anything? I suspect they're all uh bugged into the same position now. Oh, ain't that something? That's what that did. Um, oh, I'm not ejected. Yeah, they're all locked to the same location because the damned arrow component. Uh, that's not good. Oh, hang on, I need to do this as well. Yeah, yeah, it's staying in a fixed position. Okay, I'm just going to attach it to this, see if that changes it. Sometimes I wish I actually understood what the hell was going on half of this nonsense. If I delete it and I drag a new one in. Okay, great. Right, so now come over to here and we hit B. Okay, that's interesting. Fascinating. Okay, well, let's see where they ended up. So if I do this, so that's east apparently. That's north. It's west. Oh, south even. West, east, north, south. Okay, so the maths works. Um, there's some intriguing shenanigans. Let's say the fact that it's going up is interesting. Um, yep. Okay. All right. Let's do this differently. So what we want, like, mm, I hate misclicking. All right, come on. So all this stuff. Hmm, that's interesting. Can I? We rotate the vector. Do we make? Hmm. Okay, hang on. Let's call this north. And we go equal f vector. So if we assume x is north, we go distance 0, 0. Then put this here, and we do this to north. And then if we change this to plus equals north, this to minus equals north, and then same gimmick for here. But then we also, but then we, huh. So now we've got like a distance. So if I make this something a bit more standard, I think like 400 distance is a reasonable amount. So hang on, do we need to rotate? Yeah, so we need to make sure the output is north facing. Then we rotate both of them to face the same direction. And then we just rotate the others 90 degrees plus or minus. Let me just add it. And now we go a fixed distance in each direction, just along this singular axis. Wish me luck. Oh my fucking god, it works. Right. Sorry. Cool. Basically. Ain't that something? And if I really got to stop pressing tab. Right, so if we come across here and I hit B, oh, gotta be a bit closer. I should really remember the controls, but so this is the north facing one, which I think is right. If I stop, yeah. Hey, hey, ain't that something? That's so cool. And just to double check, outliner. So east is to the right, south is behind us, west is to the left. Hell fucking yeah. That's awesome. Okay, so now the only thing we need to do now to actually make the building system work is to just generate those directions or positions, figure out which one you're looking at closest to relative to the thing that you're also looking at. So we do a raycast. So that's what this is. So we would do a in fact, if I can, I wish I could set the time. Can I? I'm curious. Have I made expose those properties? Oh, come on. I mean, I kind of have, but I haven't actually exposed them to. Ain't that something? I love watching this shit go. I need I need a control for something. Is this gonna do it? Oh, up it goes. It's daytime. Right, and snipping tool. So let's get a picture of this. That will do. Right, so we get this. So right, so we need to figure out which of these you're looking at, and I'm gonna guess that way is probably the best guess at the moment. So you do a ray trace like that, and then we establish that these are possibilities, and then you look at the distance. So we figure out the closest angle. Obviously that's going to be like that or something to our actual reticule. Whatever, something closer to that. So that's clearly the closest. So then this becomes. Let's do. That becomes our target, our relative one, and then you figure out from here what else we're close to. So what direction we're looking at, which would, I mean, in this case, obviously it's not visually there, but it would probably be here. And then if you were looking across here, it would, across here, then, it would look at this one. And I guess the tricky part is how do you check? So this what distance check do you do? Because if it's here or here and they're the same, so if you were lined up with them, is it the distance to the player? Is it the furthest point because you're building and therefore obviously like this is missing? So then do you pick the up bit of this? And so on and so forth, and so the fun begins. So this is yeah, this is where it goes to shit. I think at one point or another, I had this set up key binding numpad buttons for eject and stuff. Let me just do that real quick because that would be useful going forwards. Head of the settings, we've got ejects. Okay, so does this? No, it doesn't. Type a new binding. Okay, back. No. Is it keyboard only? Because that would be unfortunate. Oh, it's F8. Let's just check that. I'll try and remember that one. So it is. I think I've got that on my mouse. Whoops. Ahem. Whatever. Right. Well, one of those buttons is on my mouse. I'll find out later. Pardon me. Wonderful. So yeah, the plan would be to make it this value a fixed value based on the maximum bounds of the object, and because it's a grid system, so if we figure out what it actually is, so for instance, if I made this, so 400 put it pretty close, I reckon it's about 150. So if we recompile this, right, sorry, just responding to someone. So this should put them a lot closer and possibly on top of each other. Pretty much. It looks like they're about 100. So, that's probably about 50. So let's just do it properly real quick. I might as well use this as an example, even though it's a bit small, functional. And I can just upscale them later, or change them to floor tiles. Still pissed off at the fact that those walls are, and that shit's messing up, and these aren't. Oh, look at that. Nice. And then we can do exactly the same premise for moving them east, south, east, southwest and things, right? But this is one of the problems that I was trying to get across before. So the meshes are like on top of each other, and the engine doesn't have a bloody clue how to reconcile it. So it just kind of tries, and evidently you get this clipping. So obviously when we have objects that are a fixed size, the idea would end up being that they would exactly just touch each other. So they're close. Like if I were to say change it to be like 100, let's go like 110. Actually, that's probably a bit much. 101, let's say, and then recompile it, and just so I don't have to keep moving over here all the time. Um, recompile. Ta-da. Oh no, they're still clipping. Okay. Let's just tweak it a bit because it'd be cool to prove that I can get them like touching and not quite. 5 might not be enough. It might be 10 or something, but and I mean the spawn parameters could probably sort that out as well. There you go. So it's probably like 4 or something. But you can see that they're now spawning in. That's so cool. And if I do it again, chaos ensues. Non-nanite marking job queue overflow. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. So obviously this is the frame rates are dropping because every single one of these is generating another 4 next to it. So they're obviously overlapping. So if I now change this to don't spawn if colliding, it should automatically, and obviously we're going to make it so they won't attempt to spawn on an existing one, but this option should actually do that for me. All right, yeah, hang on, I need to. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, hang on. I know why that's happened. Hmm, okay, firstly do that so that can't happen again. Rather than don't adjust if possible, but always. Okay, we'll let it adjust itself. I suspect I'm slightly too close for the collision, so we'll have to see. This will obviously distort them a bit. Um, they might bug out a bit. I'm not sure how it deflects spawn points. It's probably relative to the thing that it's center point of the thing it's touching. So if you have like a box and then you spawn a box on it, it's probably one center to the other and it pushes it a distance away where it wouldn't be colliding. That would be my assumption. Yeah, okay, it's not letting me spawn them at all. So if I go to the box mesh, thoughts. Oh, that's C++ stuff. Yeah. Right, loot boxes, create. So we come over here, show collision somewhere. Huh. Simple and complex. I wonder. I know they're close. If I duplicate one, I move this above it and hit end. Yeah, they clip through each other. That's interesting. Because this should... Hmm. Block all dynamic. There's a... Ah, goodness. Okay, I would have thought these would snap onto each other. So I do show collision. Yeah, I don't know. Some part of them is colliding even though they're basically like not touching at all. Hmm. I'm not really sure how to handle that. Hmm. Well, anyway, fundamentally it works. I'll just need to tweak the parameters and figure out how to effectively do it. I mean, let's make it a bit more extreme, right? Let's move them that far away. I just want it to work, so I can like press it multiple times and it creates a Minecraft style explosion of cubes. So if I do this, okay. Oh, it's colliding with the ground. Oh, that's so cool. All right, nice. I mean, just did spawn ground beneath our feet. Every time I press it, it just finds the next thing. Obviously, it creates a world of lag, but I think that gets solved when you start using instant static meshes and the meshes don't spawn with collision for a bit and blah 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 as those ways and means. But otherwise, once they're here, they're just regular old static meshes. So if I come out here, I do path. So yeah, they can like path on top of it and things and yeah. So if I like move this down, move this. And then I go back in. Curious. Should be able to, yep. Can they follow me? They try. If I, so like this is what I just love about the Unreal. If I move that step down, that step down. Oh, it's because I'm too close to here. Hey! Yeah, they get a little stuck, but they can actually walk up here. Hey! That's so cool. If I do it now, it's going to go in some weird place. Oh, right, I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Yeah, so they were colliding with the terrain. So yeah. Anyway, that shouldn't be a problem. Like I said, when I use the grid system and stuff, it basically won't let you put them in places that they'll collide to start with. So, yeah. And yeah, they can just freely walk on it. They'll follow the path back down. That's so cool. Is it Shift C, Alt C, Alt C? There we go. Yeah. Wonderful. Alright, I think that'll do for now. I'm gonna go and eat something, but that was a long ass stream. I didn't realize I've been doing it for 2.5 hours. Alright, cool. I will I don't know. I'm doing stuff with a friend this evening, but I might be back again today. Uh Potentially, yeah. We'll see. Alright, cool. I'll see you guys around.